You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, when it comes to the NBA, I believe it's not really a secret that the NBA is definitely a left-wing sports organization. They support the Democrat Party. Remember, they supported BLM, all the rioting and stuff like that. They were kneeling down for criminals. I mean, it just got out of control with the political leanings of the NBA. I call it the Marxist NBA of China because in the NBA, man, you can openly criticize this country right here. But if you speak out against China, oh no, we cannot have that. Enes Kanter was in the NBA, came out against China, and he got traded away from the Celtics to the Rockets, and he has not been seen again on an NBA court. Pretty sad, man. Pretty sad that the NBA decided to get extremely political. And they definitely been paying the price, man. Nobody's really watching this NBA Finals. I mean, you got the Celtics, an historic franchise in the NBA Finals, and the ratings stink. Absolutely stink. Now, we're mainly going to be talking about the Dallas Mavericks here because Mark Cuban is not the primary owner of the Mavericks anymore. I mean, the NBA is so woke now, guys. You aren't even supposed to call owners of the team owners anymore, because the players got triggered. They got woke. They started thinking they were slaves and stuff like that. Anyway, Mark Cuban is not the primary owner of the Mavericks anymore. He only owns something like 29, let's just say 30%. 30%. The actual owner of the Mavericks is a woman. Her name is Miriam Adelson, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, we got a bombshell report here that the NBA really did not want this woman to be the quote-unquote governor of the team. Now, you know that the NBA has their board of governors, which is really the board of owners. She is not on that board. No. They didn't want her, allegedly, to be on that board. Why? Well, apparently because she's a big-time Trump supporter. Yes. I believe she's a widow. Her and her husband actually donated a lot of money to Trump. And the NBA said, nah, we hate Trump. We cannot have that in our league. But of course, the sale still went through. But the person that's actually on the board of governors for the Mavericks is actually her son-in-law. Yeah. Pablo Torre, man, he's been on ESPN. He's exposed this, and the NBA is running because they're panicking, saying, hey, this ain't true. They're saying this isn't true. Let's get into this, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member live stream every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We appreciate the support. So here we go. Right here on Outkick. NBA denies report it blocked Trump supporting Miriam Adelson from being primary Mavericks owner. Yeah, she bought the team, but I find it kind of funny. If you actually go to the Wikipedia page of the Dallas Mavericks, it shows her as the owner along with her son-in-law. Not even her own daughter. Okay? Anyway, it says here a report from Pablo Torre suggested that the NBA blocked Miriam Adelson from becoming the primary owner of the Dallas Mavericks after she bought a majority stake in the team from Mark Cuban last year. Outkick reached out to the league about the report. NBA spokesman Mike Bass said in a statement, quote, the report is categorically false, close quote. Torre's report noted that Adelson and her late husband are massive donors to Donald Trump. Torre then attributed this as the primary reason that the league did not want Adelson to have full control of the franchise and instead appointed her son-in-law Patrick Dumont, not really sure how I pronounce it, as the team's governor and representative to the NBA Board of Governors. So, guys, she owns the team, but she really doesn't have any power and authority in the league with the Mavericks. It's her son-in-law. Wow. So we got a clip here from Pablo Torre right here. Let's go ahead and watch this. I think he has his own podcast. Pablo Torre finds out. Let's go ahead and roll it. Here we go.
Mark Cuban is still very involved with the team, but he sold it to this widow, this 78-year-old woman who is married to a Las Vegas casino mogul. Some woman, in other words, who isn't as famous as Mark Cuban, the guy who is, on Shark Tank and tweeting all sorts of anti-Trump stuff all of the time. But the first thing that I need you to know about Miriam Adelson is something that I found out while reporting this episode, which is that her political reputation was apparently so radioactive that the NBA and Commissioner Adam Silver would not allow her to be the governor of the team, the controlling owner, in other words, the face of the Mavericks, the person who would show up to these Board of Governors meetings, even though, of course, the league would happily take the money of the fifth richest woman in America, who is now the third richest owner in all of American sports, right behind Steve Ballmer, who owns the Clippers, and Rob Walton of the Walmart Waltons, who owns the Denver Broncos. And so Miriam's son-in-law, Patrick Dumont, an executive at her casino company, was appointed governor of the Mavericks instead. And the reason why the ostensibly left-leaning NBA insisted on this is obvious once you step just a foot outside of sports, because nobody donated more money to Donald Trump in 2020 than Miriam Adelson, it turns out. And few people in right-wing politics, period, are as powerful as she is. And she also happens to be one of the most powerful pro-Israel extremists alive today by any standard, even though everyone in sports seems to be ignoring Miriam Adelson right now, including, by the way, the aforementioned Kyrie Irving, who is the athlete most associated with anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and his positions on Israel and Palestine.
Interesting, guys, that she's allowed to buy the team, but she has no control over her team. Her son-in-law is running the team, even though she bought the team with her money. But the NBA is saying, nah. Outkick reached out to Pablo Torre following the NBA's denial, and he did not return a request for comment. However, Torre did post on X to say that he stands by the reporting. So right here below the video, he says, update, in response to our report that Miriam Adelson would not have been approved as governor, primary owner of the Mavericks, which is why her son-in-law, Patrick Dumont, was selected instead. An NBA spokesman said, quote, that is categorically false. We stand by our reporting. Folks, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I mean, the NBA is so woke, man. They are so left-leaning. I mean, they put a far-left Marxist organization on their court. So I would not be surprised, man, if they tried to restrict the ownership of a woman that supports President Trump. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, man. But this is very disturbing, man. I mean, the NBA has a whole bunch of problems, man. They don't want anybody, at least publicly, to deviate, from the left-wing Democrat plantation. If not, hey, we're going to silence you. I mean, this woman owns the team, but really doesn't have power over a team. In order for this sale to go through, her son-in-law had to be appointed as the quote-unquote governor, even though she paid for the team. Absolutely astonishing, guys. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.